If you're over 60, your muscles are shrinking right now. You may not feel it, but it's happening. And one day, without warning, it will take something from you that you can never get back. I've seen it too many times. Faces looking at me across my desk, eyes wide in shock when I tell them, "You've already lost nearly a third of your muscle." They say, "But doctor, I feel fine." That's the thing. Sarcopenia is silent. No pain, no warning, until it's too late. Let me tell you about Mr. James. 72 years old, retired teacher, loved tending his garden. One day he slipped on his porch. It was a slow fall, no broken bones, just a bruised hip. He thought, "I'm lucky." But the real damage had already started years before that fall. His muscles had been wasting away quietly. Your body remembers every year you don't fight back. 2 months later, he could no longer climb the stairs to his bedroom. By 6 months, he needed a walker. He never went back to his garden. The clock had been ticking on his muscles for decades, and he didn't even hear it. Before you think, "That's not me," I want you to do something right now. Stand up from your chair without using your hands. Did you feel your legs strain? Did you hesitate for balance? That's how it starts. Quietly, slowly. The clock is ticking on your muscles. Sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, isn't just about looking weaker. It's about losing the engine that powers every movement, every step, every breath. After 60, you can lose up to 3% of your muscle mass every single year. Think about that. If you live 20 more years, and I hope you do, without intervention, you could lose more than half of your muscle. That's not just numbers. That's your independence, your balance, your ability to lift your grandchild or carry groceries. Then there's Maria, 68, former nurse. She came to me after a minor stroke, caused by a sudden drop in blood pressure when she stood up. Why did that happen? Weak leg muscles couldn't push blood back to her heart fast enough. She didn't die from sarcopenia, but sarcopenia opened the door for the fall, the hospital stay, and the loss of confidence that came after. I remember her voice shaking, "Doctor, I'm afraid to walk outside now." That's what sarcopenia steals, not just strength, but courage. Right now, even if you feel fine, your body remembers every skipped walk, every meal without enough protein, every year without resistance training. And the truth is brutal. Muscle doesn't come back on its own. If you don't feed it, if you don't challenge it, it leaves. Here's the simple science. Your muscles are like savings in a bank. When you were young, you made deposits effortlessly, playing sports, running after buses, carrying heavy loads. After 60, you're making fewer deposits, but still making withdrawals every day, just by living, breathing, moving. If you don't start adding back, your account runs dry, and once it's empty, it's almost impossible to refill. That's when the falls happen. That's when the hospital stays get longer. That's when independent living becomes a memory. Sarcopenia is silent. Your body remembers. The clock is ticking on your muscles. I don't tell you this to scare you for nothing. I tell you because I've watched too many people lose the fight before they even knew there was one. And I've also watched those who took action, even late in life, and turned the tide. In a moment, I'm going to tell you about one patient who reversed years of muscle loss in just 90 days. Using something you probably already have in your kitchen. It's not a supplement, it's not a pill, but it works. Stay with me. Because if you miss this, you might miss your only real chance to stop the clock. Every day you wait, the muscles you lose, they never fully come back. But today, I'm going to show you how one small change, starting this week, can slow, stop, and even reverse that loss. I want you to imagine this. You're 75 years old. You're walking up your front steps, holding a grocery bag. Your foot catches. You stumble. But instead of falling, your leg muscles fire, your balance holds, and you steady yourself. No injury, no hospital, no months of recovery. That's what strong muscles give you, protection. And that's why we can't waste another day. Let me tell you about Mr. Allen, 69 years old. He came to me after 2 falls in 1 month. No broken bones, just bruised pride and a shaken confidence. He told me, "Doctor, I'm scared to go outside now." I ran his tests. His muscle mass was 40% lower than the healthy average for his age. That's dangerous territory. He was living on the edge and didn't even know it. I gave him a plan. It wasn't complicated. No expensive equipment, no heavy gym workouts. Just 2 things. A daily portion of high-leucine protein and a set of simple resistance exercises he could do in his living room. He followed it for 90 days. When he came back, he stood up from the chair without using his hands, with a smile. He had regained 6 pounds of lean muscle. His balance test improved by 38%. And most importantly, he wasn't afraid anymore. Why did it work? Because he gave his muscles exactly what they needed. 1. Fuel, protein rich in leucine, the amino acid that tells your body to start building muscle. Without it, your muscles ignore your efforts. 2nd, stimulation, resistance exercises that send a message to your body. These muscles are still needed. Keep them. Sarcopenia is silent, but your muscles are always listening. Give them the right signal, and they respond. Even at 80. Here's the danger. Most people over 60 eat less protein than they did in their 30s, and almost never spread it evenly throughout the day. That's like trying to water a dying plant once a week. It's too little, too late. The clock is ticking on your muscles, and every meal you skip without protein is another withdrawal from your strength bank. One of the easiest ways to fix this? A simple food you've probably ignored because you thought it was too fatty or too old-fashioned. Certain cheeses. Not all cheeses, just 3 specific kinds that research shows can rebuild muscle faster than almost any other protein source for people over 60. But I'm not going to just list them for you now, because if you don't know when to eat them, you'll waste the opportunity. And that timing could be the difference between keeping your independence and losing it. Sarcopenia is silent. Your body remembers. The clock is ticking on your muscles. If you think this is just about feeling stronger, you're wrong. Weak muscles mean slower reaction times, poorer circulation, and less stability. That's why falls kill more people over 65 than car accidents. And the worst part? Most of those falls could have been prevented if the person had just a little more strength. Picture yourself 6 months from now. You're in your kitchen. A jar slips from the counter. You reach down, and instead of feeling your knees wobble, you bend and lift with steady legs. That's the kind of quiet victory strong muscles give you. You don't think about it, but your life is safer every day. In the next part, I'll tell you exactly which 3 cheeses can rebuild muscle, how much to eat, and the exact moment of the day when they work best. Miss this, and you'll keep losing muscle while thinking you're safe. Stay with me. The clock is still ticking. If you think all cheese is bad for you, you've been lied to. The wrong kind can hurt you, but the right kind can save your muscles, your balance, even your independence. I'm not here to sell you on cheese. I'm here to give you the truth. The truth that's been buried under decades of fear about fat, salt, and cholesterol. Because when you're over 60, muscle is the one currency that decides how long you stay independent. And these 3 cheeses, they're like a direct deposit into your strength account. The first, and maybe most underestimated, is cottage cheese. I know what some of you are thinking. That lumpy stuff? My diet in the 80s? Yes, that one. But here's why it's a weapon against sarcopenia. 14 grams of high-quality protein in just half a cup. Almost 70% of its calories from protein. Rich in leucine, about 1 gram per serving. The ignition key for muscle growth. Casein protein, slow-release fuel that feeds your muscles for 6 to 8 hours, even while you sleep. I've had patients who hated chewing meat or couldn't digest heavy meals, but they could handle cottage cheese. Soft, creamy, and gentle on digestion. One woman in her late 70s started having half a cup before bed. 3 months later, her nighttime leg cramps were gone, and her balance improved so much her daughter stopped insisting on a cane. Sarcopenia is silent, but cottage cheese whispers to your muscles all night. Don't shrink. Stay strong. Second, Parmesan. Not the powdered stuff in the green can. I mean real, aged Parmesan, with the dotted rind and the rich, nutty smell. 10 grams of complete protein in just 1 ounce. One of the most concentrated sources you can find. Packed with calcium. Critical for muscle contraction, not just bones. Naturally lactose-free after long aging, so even those with intolerance can enjoy it. I had a retired firefighter, 72, who told me he couldn't handle big meals anymore. I asked him to sprinkle fresh grated Parmesan on his morning eggs, his lunch salad, even roasted vegetables at dinner. In 60 days, his grip strength was up 20%, and he could lift his grandson again. Your body remembers. Feed it what works, and it will thank you. The third, ricotta. Smooth, mild, and underestimated, made from whey, the fastest digesting protein. Why does that matter? Because when you've just walked, gardened, or even done light chores, your muscles are in repair mode. Ricotta delivers amino acids to them in under an hour. 14 grams of protein in half a cup, but with a different amino profile than cottage cheese. Rich in branched-chain amino acids BCAAs that go directly to muscle tissue. Low in sodium, good for those watching blood pressure. One patient of mine, Mrs. Perez, 81, refused anything fancy. But she loved toast with ricotta, honey, and cinnamon. She started eating it after her short morning walks. In 3 months, she could climb her porch steps without pulling on the railing. Sarcopenia is silent. Your body remembers. The clock is ticking on your muscles. But here's the danger. Eat these cheeses at the wrong time, and you'll waste their potential. It's like pouring water on the sidewalk instead of into the soil. There's a window, a golden 2-hour period, when your muscles act like sponges, ready to absorb and grow. Miss it, and you lose that advantage. I've seen people cry in my office when they realize they could have started years ago. They think of the time they lost, the vacations they didn't take because they were afraid to walk too far, the family events they skipped because of weak legs. I don't want that for you, and you don't have to go through it. In the next part, I'll show you exactly when to eat each cheese and how to pair it with simple, joint-safe movements so your body uses every gram of protein. If you skip this, you might as well throw half your effort away. Stay with me. Your muscles are listening. If you eat the right food at the wrong time, you might as well throw half of it in the trash. Your muscles have a clock, and it's ticking. Most people over 60 don't realize this. Your body's ability to use protein is not constant throughout the day. There are moments when it's wide open, like a door you can walk through, and moments when it's almost shut. Miss that open door, and the protein you eat, it won't rebuild muscle. It will just fade away. Here's how it works. When you've been still for hours, sleeping, sitting, your muscles get cold. They're not primed to take in amino acids. But after even light movement, a walk to the mailbox, watering plants, climbing a few stairs, your muscles become like thirsty sponges. This golden window lasts about 2 hours. That's when protein works hardest for you. I remember Mr. Lawson, 74, former mechanic. He came to me with weak legs, trouble standing from a chair. He'd been eating plenty of protein, but always at night, hours after his only walk of the day. We changed just one thing. He ate ricotta toast within 30 minutes after walking. In 6 weeks, he told me, "Doc, I can get up from the sofa without pushing on my knees." That's how powerful timing is. 1. Cottage cheese. Best before bed or right after breakfast if you've moved a bit. Casein's slow release will feed your muscles while you sleep or keep them fueled for hours after waking. Example. After a short morning stretch, have half a cup with berries and honey. 2. Parmesan, best with meals you eat soon after light activity. Sprinkle fresh grated Parmesan over eggs, soups, or vegetables to add dense protein and calcium. Example. After a grocery trip or gardening, grate 1 ounce over your lunch. 3. Ricotta, best within 2 hours after any activity, even light. The whey protein is fast absorbing, so it catches your muscles when they're most ready. Example. After your afternoon walk, ricotta on whole grain toast with cinnamon. You don't need a gym. In fact, the safest and most effective moves can be done at home. Chair stands. Sit, then stand, using as little hand support as possible, 8 to 10 reps. Wall push-ups. Stand arm's length from a wall, press in and out, 8 to 12 reps. Step-ups. Use the lowest step in your home. Step up and down slowly. Each takes less than 5 minutes. Do 1, then eat your cheese within the window. That's the nutrition plus activation combo that makes your body respond like it's 30 years younger. Sarcopenia is silent. Your body remembers. The clock is ticking on your muscles. Here's the cruel part. The older you are, the shorter that golden window gets. At 60, it's about 2 hours. At 80, it can be closer to 45 minutes. Every year you wait to start, that door closes faster. So if you've been telling yourself, "I'll start next month," you're not just losing time. You're losing opportunity you can't get back. In the next part, I'll give you the 90-day muscle rescue plan, the exact daily blueprint that can rebuild years of lost strength. If you skip it, you'll keep wondering, what if? But if you follow it, you might just feel younger in 3 months than you have in the last 10 years. You can turn back the clock on your muscles, but only if you start now. Wait 90 days, and you'll wish you started today. Over the last 30 years, I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rebuild strength they thought was gone forever. Not with drugs, not with extreme workouts, but with a precise, consistent 90-day plan that combines protein timing, gentle resistance, and daily momentum. Think of it like fixing a leaky roof. You patch it every day for 3 months, and suddenly the whole house feels safe again. Your body doesn't rebuild muscle in one big burst. It's more like stacking bricks, a few at breakfast, a few at lunch, a few at dinner, every single day. Miss too many bricks, the wall stays weak. Stack them consistently, and in 90 days, you have something strong enough to hold you up. Literally. Within 60 minutes of waking, after any light movement, even just stretching or walking around the house, eat a high-protein breakfast. My top choice: half to 1 cup cottage cheese with berries or tomatoes plus herbs. This gives you slow-release casein and over 14 grams of protein to turn on muscle building for the day. Why it matters. After a night's fast, your body is breaking down muscle. Morning protein flips the switch to building. Ms. Green, 68, told me she never had an appetite in the morning. We started her on 4 spoonfuls of cottage cheese with a few grapes. Tiny start. Within 2 weeks, she was eating half a cup. At day 60, she walked 20 minutes without stopping, something she hadn't done in years. Plan your midday movement: gardening, errands, light chores. Within 2 hours after, have a meal with Parmesan, fresh grated over soup, salad, or vegetables. About 1 ounce gives you 10 grams high-quality protein plus calcium for muscle contraction. Why it matters. Midday is when many people crash in energy. Protein here prevents muscle breakdown and boosts steadiness for the rest of the day. Mr. Alvarez, 72, had daily dizziness in the afternoons. His diet? Coffee and a small sandwich for lunch. We swapped in a bowl of vegetable soup with Parmesan and bread. Within 3 weeks, no more wobbly afternoons. Use ricotta within 2 hours after your last movement of the day. A walk, stretching, even cooking dinner. Spread on whole grain toast with cinnamon or mix with cocoa for dessert. Whey protein in ricotta is fast absorbing, perfect for repair before you rest for the night. Sarcopenia is silent. Your body remembers. The clock is ticking on your muscles, 2 to 3 days a week. Chair stands, 8 to 10 reps. Wall push-ups, 8 to 12 reps. Elastic band pulls, 10 reps. No heavy weights, no gym. Just enough to wake up your muscle fibers so they use protein better. Keep a simple calendar. Mark each day you 1. Moved at least twice. 2. Ate protein within 2 hours after. 3. Hit 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal. After 30 days, notice daily activities getting easier. After 60 days, strength improvements you can measure. After 90 days, reduced risk of falls, better balance, and more confidence moving around. Here's what I tell every patient. If you skip more than 3 days in a row, you're not just losing progress. You're training your body to accept weakness. That's why I call it the muscle rescue plan. It's not a diet. It's not an exercise fad. It's an agreement between you and your future self. Mr. Coleman, 81, started the plan barely able to walk 5 minutes. At day 90, he was walking 25 minutes, carrying groceries without stopping, and, his words, feeling steady enough to dance again. Your muscles are listening every single day. Feed them, move them, protect them. You have 90 days to prove to yourself that it's not too late, because it isn't. In the final part, I'll show you the hidden mistakes that can ruin all your progress. The things most people over 60 do without realizing they're undoing months of effort. If you're serious about keeping your strength, you can't miss it. You could destroy months of progress in just 1 week, and most people over 60 do it without realizing. I've seen it too many times. A patient works hard, follows the plan, builds strength, and then one habit, one small decision, sends them sliding backwards faster than they can believe. You fought too hard for your muscles to let these silent killers take them away. You skip breakfast, nibble at lunch, then eat a huge steak at night thinking you're catching up on protein. It doesn't work. Your muscles can only use 25 to 35 grams at once. The rest? Wasted. It's like pouring a gallon of water on a dry plant all at once. Most of it just runs off. Fix. Spread your protein evenly. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Muscle doesn't have a pause button. Skip more than 3 days of activity and your body starts breaking down muscle tissue again, especially after 60. One of my patients, Mary, 74, took a week off after catching a cold. By day 6, she felt weaker getting out of bed. Fix. Even on sick days, do micro movements, chair stands, arm raises, light stretches, to remind your muscles they're still needed. Cookies, crackers, plain fruit. Tasty, but zero muscle benefit. Your body is constantly deciding, build or break. If your snack has no protein, you just gave it permission to break. Fix. Keep quick protein ready. Cottage cheese cups, Parmesan chunks, ricotta on toast. Dehydration shrinks muscle cells and makes them more prone to breakdown. Older adults often feel less thirsty, but that doesn't mean your muscles don't need water. Fix. Keep a glass of water near you and sip all day. Pair it with protein for maximum repair. Joint pain, stiffness, they make you want to stop moving. But complete rest sends your muscles into free fall. Inactivity is like telling your body, we don't need muscle anymore, and it listens. Fix. Switch to pain-free movements, water exercises, gentle bands, or seated routines, but keep moving something every day. Sarcopenia is silent. Your body remembers. The clock is ticking on your muscles. I'll never forget Mr. Daniels, 79. After 60 days of progress, he decided to take it easy for 2 weeks while visiting family. No protein plan, no movement. When he came back, he'd lost nearly all the muscle we'd built, and his balance had worsened. He told me, I didn't think it would happen that fast. It does. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 90 days, no more than 2 off days in a row. Protein at all 3 main meals. Move after breakfast and lunch, even if it's just 5 minutes. Your independence, your balance, your life, they're not guaranteed. Muscle loss is faster than you think. But so is muscle gain, if you act now. Buy your cheeses today. Plan tomorrow's meals tonight. Commit to the next 90 days like your future depends on it. Because it does. Your muscles are listening right now. What will you tell them? Grow stronger or give up?